Okay, folks, listen, I did a video just the other day. It's about 8 minutes long about the coronation chair on which King Charles is going to be crowned. And in this video, I'm going to prove to you without a shadow of a doubt that it's all scripted and that next year Seattle's going to get struck. And at the same time, right around the same time, King Charles is going to be crowned next year. On June 11th, Seattle's going to get struck, and King Charles is going to be crowned on June 3rd. So basically 1 week later. So be patient as I lay the groundwork for this incredible information that you're about to see, okay? So this is the map of the United States, and this is the southeast where Trump lives, and Florida looks like a gun, and it also looks like the top of Trump's head. But Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th in Ohio, okay? Wherever Ohio is, and my eyes are so bad. I can't even see where it is. Anyway, Trump gets his head wound in Ohio on August 4th. But look at Florida. I told you, it looks like Trump's head, his hair, and it also looks like a pistol. And then over here, northeast, is where 9/11 happened. And look at this. I live in Southwest, and I told you Southwest, the initials SW equals 42. Elvis died at the age of 42, and the 42nd state is Washington, way up here. But look, SW, that's where I live. Like I said, Seattle, Washington's initials. How unbelievable is that? Because I live in California, the furthest southwest, right? Anyway, northwest is where Washington is. And I told you Elvis's head. This looks like Elvis's head right here. It's the furthest north. You understand? And that's where Seattle, King County is. And Elvis was known as the king. Okay? And that's where Seattle is, in King County, like I said. And if you don't know what I mean by Seattle being Elvis's head, I mean the state of Washington. This is the state of Washington, and this is where Seattle is. This is where King County area is, right here. And if this gets chopped off, it'll be the chop zone. Remember, that's what it was being called, the chop zone, back in 2020 during the riots. This area of Seattle was being called the chop zone. Because if they chop this off, that's like chopping off Elvis's head, you see? And that's why, you remember Washington chopped down a cherry tree, that whole nonsense story. Anyway, so this looks like Elvis's head. You see the hair right here? Okay? You see what I'm saying? That's his hair. It's the same thing. That profile. And I told you Elvis was known as the king, right? And Seattle's in King County. And Elvis's throne is Seattle, okay? Look, you see the anagram for the word Seattle is E-L, state. S-T-A-T-E. And the E-L. L means God. The L state. ELVIS, okay? This is his throne. The king's throne is in Seattle. And like I said, this was the first place where the riots started happening back in 2020 because of the Black Lives Matter. Black Elvis matters. Get it? Lives is Elvis. Lives. Lives. It's an anagram for Elvis. Levi's. Lives. Lives. Anyway, so the chop zone was in Seattle. You remember this dude's name? El Chapo? Get it? El Chapo. E-L has the, Elvis in Seattle, and chop the O. The O is the crown. They're going to chop his crown, the head. Okay? And look, they even say how tall he is, 168. Elvis was born on 8/16. So, and this El Chapo, his name is Joaquin Guzman. He's got the man. I told you the man is a code, the son of the man. Anyway, Joaquin connects to... Oh, and by the way, he's a kingpin. Get it? Elvis was the king. Seattle's in King County. Which connects to Joaquin Phoenix. Because I told you, Elvis is the Phoenix rising. And, right now he's 47 years old, Joaquin Phoenix. But when he was 45, he won the Academy Award for the Joker, which connects to the Batman. Elvis is the Batman, and Trump is the Bruce Wayne character, Batman's alter ego. All right. And he won the Academy Award at 45, and Elvis has been dead for 45 years, and Trump is the 45th president. And he's born on October 28th. That's Bill Gates' birthday. Bill Gates is the needle guy, right? And Seattle, he was born in Seattle, Bill Gates. Okay, where the Space Needle is. And that's the day Elvis took the injection. He took the polio injection on October 28th. Elvis. He was the first famous person to take an injection on live television. And he did it on Bill Gates' birthday, which is also Joaquin Phoenix's birthday, the Phoenix. And I'm going to do a whole nother video on his brother, River Phoenix, and show you the connections. You're going to lose your mind when you see it. Listen, folks, I'm going to get to the important new information. I'm just laying the groundwork. So let's get back to the L state. Like I said, Seattle is the EL state, God state. EL means God in Hebrew. And by the way, the word state equals the exact same as the word Janus. And Janus is a two-faced God. Just go look it up. Okay? Janus, it equals the same as the word state. Exact same in gematria. And Elvis was born in January, him and his identical twin. And his identical twin died of birth. That's why Trump was needed as the replacement. And the Janus, January is named after Janus, the two-faced God. And Trump is born in the month of June, which is the Gemini, the twin sign. Anyway, if you didn't understand what I was saying earlier, I was telling you the anagram for Elvis is lives. And that's why they had the Black Lives Matter all across the world. Because I told you, Elvis is going to be the mark of the beast. His image or the number of his name or his name. I'm going to get to the new info, like I said. And you know what's funny is Charles is known as the Prince of Wales, and America kind of looks like a whale, like the whole outline. But anyway, forget about that. So Seattle's in King County, like I said, and Elvis was known as the king, and it's in the furthest state on this map. Northwest is the state of Washington, NW. So if you were to put NW into the gematria calculator, look what it equals. Now pay attention. 3710 178 for NW. 3710 178. Now if you put the letters EL into the gematria calculator, look what you get. For EL, you get 17, 8, 37, 10. So it's the same numbers, but backwards. So NW was 3710 in the front, and 17.8 was in the back for NW. So EL, which means God, and Seattle has the L state. EL is the backwards of NW, where Northwest, where Seattle, Washington is, the Northwest state. You get it? Northwest is 3710 17.8. Same numbers, but backwards for EL. And like I said, if you think these are coincidence, watch this. You see this top number right here? 3717. See, the 37 is very important because it looks like the letters EL. EL. If you turned it upside down and backwards, whatever, it would be E, and then turn this one L. EL, right? 3717. Watch this. For Northwest. And I told you Elvis is connected to the Northwest, Seattle. 3717. Okay, now pay attention carefully. Elvis has two addresses for his compound called Graceland. It's 3764, which is the main address, and the other backup address is 3717. So you have two addresses for Graceland. And look, it's the NW, what I just showed you. 3717, which is the backwards of L. L was 1737. You understand? NW was 3717. EL was 1737. And you know Kanye West, which it's who's connected to Trump, and he thinks he's God. This Kanye West, he named his kid Northwest, And if you put Northwest into the gematria calculator, let me direct you only to one area. Look at this first set of numbers right here. This is the forward numbers, which is the most important. This is the backward, and this is the total. Look at this, 142.43. Okay, for Northwest, 142.43. So if you were to put the number 42 and wrote it out, look what it would equal, 142.43. Same as Northwest. Look, all these numbers are important, but I just want you to see this, because look, this has to do with Lucifer, this has to do with Elvis, okay? But the 42, I told you Elvis died at the age of 42. Washington's the 42nd state, so 42 equals 142.43, right? Which equal the same as Northwest right here, only 142.43. I mean, think about how crazy that is. And you know that 20 and 22 equaled 42, and 20 and 23 equaled 43. 2022, 2023, get it? 20 plus 23 equaled 43. 20 plus 22 equaled 42. So basically it's a 142, a 143. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to throw stuff out there. So basically it's 42.43. If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so get ready for the mind-blowing info. It's coming right now. So remember, Seattle is the L state. L means God. ELVIS. L means God in Hebrew. Okay, now pay attention closely. And the words I am is associated with God, because God says I am. Okay? That is the name of God also. I am. It's super important. And I'm going to show you why I am is so important. And that's why you had Prince Harry, with his Invictus Games, because Invictus Games has the I am right in there in the middle, right? It's mockery of God. So I put I am into the gematria calculator. Look what it equals. Okay, it equals 23, 14, 37. Forget about these numbers. Just look at the forward numbers. I am equals 23, 14, which is the total is 37, which is the EL. Okay, 23, 14 for I am, which means God, and EL is the word God, and 37 looks like EL. Okay, if you turned it backwards. EL means God. So 2314 is the I am. 2314. And remember, Seattle is the L state, and Seattle's in Northwest. Okay? NW. N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. W is the 23rd letter. Equals 37. Okay? Do you understand? It's the I am. It's 2314 37 was I am. Okay, I told you it's all about destroying the throne of God, which they're implying is Seattle. The state of Washington. It's just, it's mockery. Okay? Anyway, so 2314, I'm going to show you why this is just, one part. I'm going to show you one more incredible info right here. So Northwest is 1423, which is the not backwards, but I am was 2314. But the end result was the EL. 37 is the EL, right? Anyway, so 1423. So pay attention, okay? So, in the past, I've shown you all the connections with the military time connecting to Elvis and everything, right? So the reason, you'll see why I'm showing you this. So in military time, this is how it works, okay? Instead of, like when you go, let's say it starts at 12 a.m. in the morning and goes around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Instead of starting from 1 again, in the military, they say 13. For 1 p.m., it would be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, all the way to 24 again. So it's a 24-hour clock, right? The military time. So 1423 military time. So 1423 military time is 2:23. You see that? The next year is the year 2023, because the zero, like I told you, the zero is either a crown or nothing. So it's 223. So 1423 is 223 hour time. You see that? So northwest, where Seattle is, N is the 14th letter, W is the 23, which is the EL. 1423 is 223 next year. It gets struck, Seattle. The northwest gets struck. Anyway, like I said, 1423 is 223. And next year is 2023. And I forgot, like I said, besides the NW equaling 1423, it also had to do with the I am, which is God's name, which was 23:14:37. You get it? 23:14. And I know I'm showing the same thing over and over again, but because the last information is very important. So I am was 23:14, right? And the NW was 14:23. And let's go with the I am, which is 23:14. And remember, 1423 military time was 223, right? And next year is 2023. So now we did 2314, which is the backwards, right? 1423 is 2314. 2314 is 11:14 p.m. 11:14 is 2314, which is the I am and the NW. 11:14. And who's born on 11:14? The future king. You see that? 11:14. And like I said, 23:14, which is the NW and the I am, is 11:14. King Charles's birthday, you see? And you see how it all connects, folks? Do you understand? And not only does the date of his birth, it works out perfect. But look at this. He was born in the year 48, right? 48. Oh, before I show you that, notice that he was 73 years old, which is the EL. I told you 73 or 37 is the EL letters. If you turned it upside down, backwards, it would be EL, which means God. Anyway, so 48 is the year. The 48th prime number is 223. You see that? Again with the 223. I think there's the last thing I'm going to be showing, and you'll see why I'm showing this. So you know that inside of this container, I guess, there's the crown of thorns. I'm not, there's no way to verify if this is real or not, but the crown of thorns that Jesus wore, that they put on Jesus's head, okay, when they crucified him. So, and during the Notre Dame fire, they had to save this. They took it out. Okay, anyway, so why am I showing this? Because remember, I told you the O is a crown, right? And death had to happen, and Jesus rose from the dead. So they're saying that when you get a crown, it's like rising from the ashes, okay? From death comes the reset. Just like God reset the earth with the flood. And so the crown basically represents rebirth. That's what I'm trying to say. And remember, in past videos, I told you that the name Elvis equals the exact same as the word water. Water equals the exact same as Elvis. Look, 6722, 6832. That's what Elvis equaled. Which also equals reset. So Elvis equals water and Elvis equals reset. You see? 6722, 6832. You see? Elvis, 6722, 6832. And why am I showing you this? Because, like I said, the O is a crown. It's after death, after destruction, they crucified Christ. He rose from the dead. It's their way of mocking God. They're gonna destroy Seattle, and Elvis rises from the ashes of it somehow. You know, his name or the image or his number of his name. Anyway, and Elvis equals water. Could it, like I said, you know, they're mocking God. So if they do some type of, you know, event where it involves water, it will also be like a reset. Okay? Because Elvis equals water, Elvis equals reset, and God reset the earth when he flooded it with water during Noah. You remember the flood during Noah? It was a reset with water. And you know, Seattle is named after some Indian chief whose name was Seattle, and he also went by the name Noah. I mean, like I said, you can't make this stuff up. All right, that was one of his names, you know. I guess it was given to him by probably one of the American, you know what I mean. Yeah, it says it right here, you see. Noah, Seattle. Anyway, they don't have his birth date, but they have his day that he died, June 7th, 1866. Look at that, 6-7. Elvis equaled 67. 6 times 7 is 42, which is the day, I mean, the age Elvis died, and the state of Washington is the 42nd state. Elvis was born on 1/8, and his twin equals 66. 1/8, and there was twins. Twin equals 66. And the reason I was showing you all that crown information and the reset and all that, because I told you NW, if you add the crown, the O, you get the NWO. I told you they've been waiting to do this. It's the reset right there. You see? The New World Order right there. After the Seattle event. You know, sometime after that. Not right away. Anyway, folks, like I said, I could have gone on for hours. I should have ended it with the King Charles information, but I couldn't help myself. But anyway, go and watch the video I did before this one, the coronation video, you know. It's the one right before this one. And then come back and watch this a second time and stop where the King Charles information ends. All right? It's super important. Anyway, folks. Anyway, remember, these are my two predictions. There's going to be a spectacular event in Seattle on June 11th, and somehow after the spectacular event, you know, I don't know how many days after, it could be months after, who knows, but somehow Elvis, either his name or his image or the number of his name ends up being the mark of the beast. Okay? And the second prediction is that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th in Ohio, and he survives this head wound and comes back either on 8-7 or 8-8. So don't get my predictions mixed up. Anyway, end of video.